is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 42, verses 1 to 7. Here is my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen one, with whom I am pleased, upon whom I have put my spirit. He shall bring forth justice to the nations, not crying out, not shouting, not making his voice heard in the street. A bruised reed he shall not break, and a smothering wick he shall not quench, until he establishes justice on the earth. The coastlands will wait for his teaching. Thus says God the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spreads out the earth with its crops, who gives breath to its people and spirit to those who walk on it. I, the Lord, have called you for the victory of justice. I have grasped you by the hand. I formed you and set you as a covenant of the people, a light for the nations, to open the eyes of the blind, to bring out prisoners from confinement, and from the dungeons, those who live in darkness. The word of the Lord. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John, chapter 12, verses 1 to 11. 6 days before Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. They gave a dinner for him there, and Martha served, while Lazarus was one of those reclining at table with him. Mary took a liter of costly perfumed oil, made from genuine aromatic nard, and anointed the feet of Jesus and dried them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the oil. Then Judas the Iscariot, one of his disciples, and the one who would betray him, said, "Why was this oil not sold for 300 days' wages and given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief and held the money bag and used to steal the contributions. So Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Let her keep this for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." The large crowd of the Jews found out that he was there and came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. And the chief priests plotted to kill Lazarus too, because many of the Jews were turning away and believing in Jesus because of him. The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters, in today's Gospel we find Jesus going to Bethany. Maybe you feel that he was just visiting a place. It was not just a place. He went there with a purpose, and it was a dangerous place for him because he had his friend there, Lazarus, and his sisters, Mary and Martha. Already, Jesus had performed a mighty miracle there. He raised Lazarus after 4 days. And the Jewish leaders were waiting to kill him, to attack him. And there were also others in that little village waiting to see something sensational, another miracle. It shows the superficiality of faith. People going after miracles. There are so many, even in our churches, people who want to see miracles, who want to see mighty things, who want to see sensational. But at the same time, we find those religious leaders who were very negative, very pessimistic, and they wanted to defend their prerogatives. And Jesus goes there. Jewish leaders were trying to kill him, and Jesus goes there. He knew their purposes, their intentions. And at the same time, in today's gospel, we find Judas, he could not hide his hypocrisy. And we find another beautiful character, the sister of Lazarus, who shows her hospitality. It was a luminous act. All in all, what do we find? Jesus was ready to go there. He was determined to go there in order to begin his journey. He knew what God the Father wanted him to do. My dear friends, all of us have duties and responsibilities. Each one is given a mission to be accomplished. And let us not engage in our duties and responsibilities as if it is a burden. Let us always consider it as a blessing. We give ourselves, we commit ourselves, we dedicate ourselves in order to serve others. We are here to build God's kingdom. Let us try to imitate our Master. Let us try to follow his footsteps. Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. And we need to follow him. We need to do as he did things. We need to give our lives for God's purposes here on earth.